What's going on, guys? Chandler here. So this is going to be my new segment on my YouTube channel called First Listen Review that is taken from my $5 tier full album reactions. So I react to the entire album, and then at the very end I give my overall thoughts and initial thoughts and a score on the album as a whole. So again, if you do like what you see and want to support the channel going forward, head over to patreon.com/ChandlerBurtonEntertainment. This is exclusive to the $5 tier. Again, you get a full album reaction, review, and a whole bunch of other perks as well if you guys are interested. And again, there's always a link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the review, and thank you all so much for watching. Alright, my friends, so again, Galactic Empire with their brand new album called Special Edition, which again, if you don't know what that is, that's like a really old like Christmas special that was awful. It is somewhere on YouTube, you can watch it, it's terrible. It makes me laugh. It's truly the worst thing ever, but I love how they named their album after that. I thought that was really cool. I'm so excited for this, man. As I said, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Star Wars has been a part of my life since I was like in like, I think like 7th or 8th grade. I remember like getting pneumonia and I stayed home from school for like a week. I was just so sick. And I remember like all the Star Wars movies were playing like on FX, and I watched them all the way through, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. I saw like the prequel trilogy in theaters with my dad starting in 1999, and then Attack of the Clones in 2002, and The Revenge of the Sith in 2005. But I remember watching the original trilogy on TV for the first time, going like, dude, this is like incredible. And of course, when Force Awakens came out, I was excited about all that hype, and you know, I was there with everybody. Not a huge fan, actually, I'm not a fan of The Last Jedi at all, and I definitely, unfortunately, did not like The Rise of Skywalker, but again, Rogue One was great, enjoyed Han Solo. I'm actually playing through Jedi Survivor right now on PS5. You know, a little bit of bugs, but it is running okay, but I'm really enjoying that game, and again, I'm almost 30 years old, and Star Wars is something that always just will mean something special to me. And again, music means something special to me as well. I got a bunch of Star Wars stuff behind me, as a lot of you could see. Darth Vader, there's some, like, the Millennium Falcon in the background. Like, there's so much. I love Star Wars. So again, like, a little known fact before we get started, too. I actually thought about doing a movie reviewing channel before I started doing music, but I decided to go with the music route. That way I can kind of help bands get a little more, you know, discovery. Music, I mean, movies always have, like, that big, like, social media push, like on TV shows and stuff. Like, you're never gonna see you're not gonna see a metalcore band on TV, you know, like ever, except maybe on Jimmy Kimmel occasionally back in the day. So again, I wanted to go down the music route so I can support, you know, the thing that I love as well, which is music. So kind of just rambling here. So, but again, really excited to check this out. Again, this is Galactic Empire, their album Special Edition. It's about 32 minutes long, and we are starting off with the 20th Century Fox Fanfare, which is interesting. I wonder how it all works with copyright, with Pure Noise music, and then like Disney owns Star Wars now. I've always wondered how that kind of works, how they make that music and it's okay with them, but I don't know. We'll see. But again, I'm really excited to check this out with you guys here. So again, let's go ahead and pop it off here. Again, Galactic Empire Special Edition, 3, 2, and 1.
A few moments later.
And there it was, my friends. Galactic Empire, their new album, Special Edition. Again, I just took a journey with Current's new album, The Death We Seek, and I'm glad I took that journey. I'm also really glad I took this journey as well. I'm excited to talk about it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'm a little biased because I love Star Wars, but I really enjoyed this. So, my first listen review of Galactic Empire Special Edition is coming up next, so please stick around for that. Alright, my friends, let's go ahead and talk about Galactic Empire and their new album, Special Edition. Again, we just got done jamming the entire thing. Again, as I just said, maybe a little biased, but I really enjoy this. Again, metal and Star Wars are like two things that I love, so I really enjoyed this album. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros, maybe some of the cons, my top 3 songs, and a score at the very end. So let's go ahead and start with the pros. Pro number 1 is that I really like the guitar work on this album. Like, honestly, if I wasn't a Star Wars fan, and I listened to it, I would just think this is like some band doing an instrumental, because like a lot of the songs, like, you know how like August Burns Red's, they do like covers of songs. For example, they did like Legend of Zelda, which is a really cool version of that theme. It just sounds like, honestly, this band kind of sounds like August Burns Red a little bit. Like, it just has like the same structure as August Burns Red. So honestly, if I didn't know this was Star Wars, I would probably think of like an August Burns Red song, or they're covering, it sounds like August Burns Red covering like a metalcore like Star Wars song, which is like really cool. So I really like the guitar work on this. I thought they did a really good job taking what's already familiar but making it sound even, in my opinion, a little bit cooler. Like, I love the original music from Star Wars, but again, I love metal. So again, putting this together, to me, it's just perfect. I thought they did a good job, and they did a good job with the song selection. I thought that was really cool as well. The production on this as well is really good. Like, it's really beefy. It's really bouncy. Like, it's like perfectly balanced. Again, there's no vocals on anything except maybe the Boba Fett, like the thing. That's gonna look really weird in the edit, but the little things like that, where it's like, again, there's really no vocals on it, but again, everything just was very balanced. Like, the drums were balanced, the guitar was balanced, everything about it sounded really good. It's a really overall just well-rounded, good listen. So the production on this was absolutely fantastic. And then I would say, again, these songs are really well put together. Like, I love the first two albums, and I think they're really good, but I really feel like with this one, like, all the songs really just hit home. Where it's like, again, it sounds familiar, but they're adding some cool, like, metal elements to it. And I absolutely love that aspect of it. And each song is going to sound different because, again, every song from Star Wars sounds different. So, again, you're not going to get one song that kind of sounds the same. So it kind of gets rid of the, repetitiveness of a lot of bands, like metal bands. Because, again, they're taking inspiration, obviously, from classic music, but they're putting their own spin on it. So again, it just doesn't sound like every song is the same. So I really like that aspect of the album as well. If I'm going to be honest, I don't really have any cons with this album. Again, I don't think this is honestly going to even make my top 10 albums of 2023. There's just nothing inherently like wrong with it. So for me, I'm just like, I don't know. I liked it a lot. But since I don't have any cons, I do want to promote a conversation to you guys here. I do want to ask you 3 questions in regards to Star Wars. Again, whether you're on my Patreon watching this part early, or again, if you're on YouTube watching it here, I would love to know your favorite Star Wars movie, your favorite Star Wars video game, and your favorite Star Wars book. And I will give you mine. And again, leave your comments down below. Again, I love talking movies, music, so please, like, leave your comments. I love to have a conversation with you guys about that. For me, my favorite movie is The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, that is a movie that made me realize why I love movies so much. That movie and The Dark Knight are like the 2 movies that made me go like, okay, movies are something that I'm going to love my entire life. And I love that movie. I think it's one of those movies where it's better than the original in my opinion. Like, the story is great. Everything about that, it's dark, it's atmospheric, it's got the biggest plot twist in like cinema history. Like, it's such a good movie. Like, that movie, in my opinion, is perfect. It can do no wrong. So in my opinion, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars film and one of my favorite films of all time. I would say my favorite video game, this one was really hard because, again, I think Star Wars video game, I actually prefer Star Wars video games over like just maybe the movies, because again, there's just so much more stories that you can tell within video games, and I really like that aspect. Like, for me, it was a toss-up between Force Unleashed, the original Battlefront 2, and Jedi Fallen Order. I'm going to give it to Jedi Fallen Order because I look back and it's like, if I was able to play all these, if I had the ability to play Force Unleashed and Battlefront 2 again, or Jedi Fallen Order, I'd probably go back and play Jedi Fallen Order. Maybe because I'm playing Jedi Survivor right now, it makes me want to go back and play it, but I think Jedi Fallen Order is such a good story, and the gameplay, while it did start off a little clunky on PS4, once it got fixed and everything, it really was a great like mix of like, Metroid, like Metroid Prime, Uncharted, like one of my favorite game franchises of all time. So again, it was everything that I love molded into the world of one of my favorite franchises, was just Star Wars. So I got to give it to Jedi Fallen Order. Who knows? Maybe Jedi Survivor might be it after I beat it, but right now I'm going to say Jedi Fallen Order. And then my favorite book, I would say, honestly, I really like the Star Wars Battlefront Twilight Company book. It's like a companion piece to the Battlefront that came out in 2015, which in my opinion was not a great game. And if they were to add a story like mode to Battlefront, they would have taken from this book and put that in the game. We would have had such a sick single player, but EA doesn't like to satisfy us when it comes to those things. So those are my top 3 favorite things. But again, I would love to know your favorite things about Star Wars as well. So again, let me know your favorite movie, video game, and book in the comments down below. So my top 3 favorite songs from this album, I gotta say, number 1, Dark Side of Soul. I believe that's from Rogue One. I could be wrong. As much as I love Star Wars, I do get things wrong sometimes. So let me know if I get it wrong, but I think that's from Rogue One. I could be wrong about that, but I really like the way that one sounded. Again, that one just sounded like a August Burns Red song through and through. Love the atmosphere of it. Thought that was really really cool. That one definitely took me by surprise. Really enjoyed that one. I would say The Mandalorian is my second favorite. That was probably my favorite on the album. I love the video. I love the dancing in it. I love how like top notch that video was, and I love how they took the theme and just kind of made it their own thing, and it was just so engaging. I had a smile on my face the whole time, and that made me realize why I love Star Wars so much. Again, not so much of a fan of the third season, but again, the first two seasons, particularly the second season, was top notch in my opinion. So really excited for more Mandalorian going forward. They're doing a Mandalorian movie and a season 4, so I'm hoping that'll be worth all that. So really like that song. And then I would honestly say The Bad Batch. I have not watched that show. A lot of my friends tell me that I should. I heard that it's awesome, but that theme was great. It was so cool, and the visualizer was really cool as well. But again, those are my top 3 songs from Galactic Empire's newest album, Special Edition. Again, I'd love to know your thoughts down below, what your favorite song is. Definitely let me know. The best way to describe this album was just fun. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime at all, down here in the deep blue sea. Just absolutely fantastic through and through. I thought this album was a ton of fun. To be fair, as I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of like instrumentals. Again, it has to be based on something that I really enjoy. Like I talked about in my Motionless in White and Elysium reaction, like I'm not a big fan of EDM music when it doesn't have any words, but when it has words to it, I'm usually okay with it. But overall, and I do like movie soundtracks as well, but overall, like I like to have my music with like lyrics and like those types of things. But when it comes to like something like this, I feel like it may be a little bit different because again, Star Wars is something that I just love, and the music is so iconic. But again, it's taking like what I love, my favorite genre of music, which is metal, and taking one of my favorite film franchises and franchises in general, Star Wars, and putting it together into something that I really love. Like it just made me realize how much I love Star Wars. And Star Wars definitely has a love-hate relationship with myself because, again, I do not like the newer movies. I hate the sequel trilogy. I mean, Force Awakens was good, but I just hate what comes after, so it's hard for me to watch The Force Awakens just knowing what goes after it. But the original trilogy, honestly, Revenge of the Sith I love. Rogue One I think is fantastic. Solo was pretty good. I mean, I love the Star Wars video games. Like the books that I've read, everything about Star Wars I love. And then this just reminded me why I love Star Wars so much. Like it's something that I just absolutely enjoy, and a lot of people still enjoy to this day as well. I really like this album. I thought it was really cool. Again, I don't think it's gonna make my top 10 albums of the year, but again, just for like a fun listen on a weekend, especially we had just had May 4th and those types of things. Like I just absolutely loved this album. I'm going to give Galactic Empire, their new album, Special Edition, a 9 out of 10. If you're not a Star Wars fan, this album may be a little bit lower, or you may have no interest to it at all. But again, as a fan of metal music and Star Wars, this hit perfectly, and this is one of the most fun albums I've listened to so far in 2023.